Everybody, I'm Dr. Maulik from Ahmedabad. First, I want to make very clear I'm going to be very basics. I'm not going to cover in detail about any of the blocks, but I'm going to cover how to do an infraclavicular and axillary block with PNS guidance. I want to thank YouTube and Google for providing many images. All are not mine. So, first is coming to infraclavicular plexus block, which is below the clavicle level. Up till now we have done the blocks above the clavicle, so this is going below. So I searched the Google, I found so many approaches for infraclavicular block and I was confused. So I don't want to make you all confused, I just want to continue with these two approaches, pericoracoid approach and vertical infraclavicular approach. Coming to pericoracoid approach, it's a lateral approach compared to vertical approach. Here we palpate the coracoid process. We go 2 centimeter medially, 2 centimeter caudally, and that's our entry point. So here we go just perpendicular to the skin. If we don't get a twitch, we move caudally or towards the axillary artery. Okay, but this now requires a multi-nerve stimulation. Single nerve stimulation is not a good choice for this block. So for that, vertical infraclavicular is better option. Here needle goes vertically down and our point of entry is more medially, where axillary nerve and musculocutaneous nerve are still in the sheath. So anatomical landmark for vertical infraclavicular approach is jugular fossa, which is very easily identifiable. Then ventral apophysis of the acromion on the lateral side. And we should not be confused with coracoid process. Then line joining these 2 points, axillary midpoint below the clavicle is our entry point. So we should get our target there. So our needle direction should always be vertical. It should never be medial. If it goes medial, then we have a vascular puncture or a pneumothorax. Okay. So there is difficulty in finding landmarks. Jugular fossa is easy, but more lateral landmark is difficult. So what to do is palpate the clavicle, move laterally till you get the acromioclavicular joint, and there you have a ventral apophysis of the acromion. Other approach is going posteriorly, palpate the spine of the scapula, go laterally, you see dorsal apophysis of the acromion, and anterior to that is a lateral point. Then we need to correct our entry point for smaller patients. Like 0.2 centimeter, we need to shift laterally. For each centimeter, the clavicle is smaller than 22 centimeter. So, for example, if this clavicle is 18 centimeter, we are going to cause a pneumothorax if we go at the midpoint. So, what we do is we shift our 0.8 centimeter laterally. So, this is the calculation. Now, coming to brief applied anatomy, we are dealing at the cord level. We have 3 cords: lateral cord, medial cord, and posterior cord. It is placed around the axillary artery, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 6 o'clock, below the pec major and minor muscles. So coming to lateral cord stimulation, usually it branches to the musculocutaneous and median nerve. So we should get a biceps contraction, pronation, or hand flexion for this. If we stimulate medial cord, which goes to median nerve and ulnar nerve, then we should have a ulnar deviation and finger flexion, like this. And coming to posterior cord, it goes to axillary nerve and radial nerve. So we should get an extension of wrist or extension of the fingers. This is my hand, so don't worry. It may not look like an actual contraction. So one thing that is easy to learn is observe your fifth finger, patient's fifth finger. If it goes laterally, means pronation, that means you are contracting a lateral cord. If it goes medially, that means ulnar deviation. That means you are stretching the median cord. And if, sorry. And if it goes posteriorly, that means you are stimulating the posterior cord. So acceptable motor twitch is up to 0.5 as sir has said. Then injection on stimulation of upper arm muscles like triceps or deltoid is not acceptable because musculocutaneous or axillary nerve comes out early. So and volume around is 30 to 40 ml with ENS guidance. If you using UAC, you can go for lower volume. So that's all for intraclavicular. Now coming to axillary block. Axillary block is easier block, and usually we don't have a pneumothorax or phrenic nerve palsy with axillary nerve block. So it's very safe block. Indication is anything below mid forearm, you can use the axillary nerve block. And here also all nerve are separated with septors, so you need to give at least 2 nerve stimulation and 1 plus for musculocutaneous nerve. And this block do not cover the tourniquet vein, so you need to infiltrate the skin around the tourniquet. And this is the difference between cutaneous supply of infra and axillary nerve block. So for infra you can go for elbow surgeries beyond that. For axillaries, mid forearm and beyond that. Brief anatomy, we are dealing with the branches, terminal branches of brachial plexus block, brachial plexus. Which is mainly median nerve, ulnar nerve, radial nerve, and musculocutaneous nerve. Then landmark is easy to say, maybe difficult to do sometimes. It's easy to get a axillary artery. That's the only landmark for axillary nerve block, and coracobrachial muscle, which is just above the pulsation. If we do not get the pulsation, we can use the help of nerve mapper, surface nerve mapper for this. So once we palpate the artery, our needle direction should be perpendicular to the skin. If we are going for median nerve, we should go above the artery. If we are going for ulnar nerve, we should go below the artery. And for radial nerve, we need to go behind the artery. You can go transarterial or just come around the artery. So for median nerve, needle goes like this. We get a contraction of pronation and flexion of the wrist. And for ulnar nerve, it is more deeper than the median nerve, but below the artery. And we should get a flexion of finger or ulnar deviation. And radial nerve, you can just get a radial nerve going behind the artery, and you should get an extension of wrist or extension of the fingers. Musculocutaneous is deeper compared to all these nerves, and you need to go more lateral to the artery. You need to go within the substance of brachioradialis muscle. And ideal contraction is the biceps contraction for this. Total volume is 25 to 30 ml, with 20 to 25 ml for all this main nerve, and 5 ml for musculocutaneous nerve is enough. And cutaneous infiltration, you can do it with lower muscle.